Good morning, my friends. It is I, Katie Rubin, your friendly neighborhood modern mystic, energy healer, divine light channel. How's it going? Happy Monday. What's going on? I kayaked on a slough this weekend. What did you do? Before this weekend, I didn't even know what a slough was. Do you know what a slough is? It was a lovely place to kayak, I'll say that much. I hope you're doing great. I have your 3 card spread here for the coming week. As I was pulling cards this morning and getting into the Akashic records of y'all friends here today, it's just really kind of present to how much I really care about you guys and how much it means to me when you write back and tell me that these help you. Or like I'll run into people in my life who I have no idea are watching these at all. And you guys will be like, I watch your spread every time, or like, you're still doing it. And I'll be like, you watch? I didn't know you watched. So I just want a healthy shout out to just all you guys. Just thanks for being here and witnessing this and caring about this. And, just I hope it benefits people in some way. And so when you tell me that it's benefiting you or even just that you enjoy it, that helps me a ton, keep motivated to keep giving it. So I love you guys and thanks for being here. So, okay, I've got a 3 card spread here for you. It's an interesting one. In the recent past, we have the storm fields. Okay, interesting. Don't panic. Breathe. In the present moment, we're encountering the magical map shifter. Very interesting archetypal kind of card, which we'll talk about in a moment. And the outcome is the deep freeze card upside downy style. Okay, what the hell is all that about? Let's look into it right now. Storm fields. Let's look at the image again. A little bit intimidating there, right? It looks like a lovely field with a pathway to home, maybe, and then pow, Stormtown. Let's see what's going on. This too shall pass. This is a message about the recent past for you. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break, for these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Let's read that sentence again. Remember, this is a metaphor for your life in the recent past. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break. Itch on my face. For these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside of you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again, and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. So it's like whenever I get this card, I always have to go, okay, it's a storm. Storms are uncomfortable. That one in particular in that image is not super fun looking. But you have to remember, like I say to myself, it's like storms come through and they shake up the dirt and the soil and they bring water to the earth and the seeds get planted where they need to go. Like this is a necessary storm. Some storms come to like wake us up, shake us awake, bring something new. It makes me think of Mary Poppins, right? The wind blew and in she came to their lives, and she saved them and helped them a lot, at least, right? She was a great influence. I tend to play this role in a lot of people's lives where I show up, I make an impact, and then I'm gone, and it happens in the form of all kinds of different ways that happens in my life. And until I came to understand my human design chart, I had so much judgment of myself for why can't I stick around longer? Why am I making such an impact? Why can't I just roll in quiet and not be visible and be in the background? And then I learned about my design and certain channels in my design, and I have a lot of individual circuitry, which just means I'm somebody I'm not very collectivist and I'm not very tribal, though I do have some collective circuitry in my design. I'm pretty individual, so I'm here to be the unique me that I am, and as such become an inspiration for other people to be the unique you that you are. That's just part of my makeup according to human design. And so one of the channels I have is a channel that comes in, shows up, makes an impact, and is gone like a storm. So for years I've been sitting with this idea and this metaphor, and it's really what's fascinating about human design is you get to look back and go, wow, my life really did play out the way the design says. I don't consciously walk into situations thinking, I'm going to come in here, make an impact, and leave. But when I look back at what just occurred, it's literally that. It's fucking wild. And it's written in the chart. Anyway, that was a sidebar pitch for you to get your human design chart read or reread by this bitch here, if you haven't lately, or any other person on earth you prefer. Okay, it's just such valuable information. You guys, I can't talk it up enough. It's called the science of differentiation because it's designed to educate each of us about who we really are. It's a set of empowerment tools. It's like an education about how your system is made up. How do you make decisions? How do you best function in alignment with universal flow? That's what human design offers. Okay, here we are in the present moment. Let's look at this card again. The present moment for you is the Magical Map Shifter, one of my favorite cards. Always a mysterious card. It's not the most direct or simple card. Spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. When the Magical Map Shifter card arrives, it comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. Perhaps you may meet a soulmate whose presence invites you to be the best you that you can be, or someone who leads you out of difficulty and into a place of safety or success. Pay attention to those individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. Be awake and aware, and you'll recognize them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The Magical Map Shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So, it's funny, I was talking about me as an influence like this, but it's kind of similar to what I was just talking about. But you can look at your life and go, wait a minute, who have I interacted with recently, or who am I interacting with presently who seems to have an impact that is a little deeper, a little stronger, a little more meaningful than whoever else I'm generally interacting with. And they're here to influence us to be the best version of us that we can be. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty interesting. It's also like kind of mysterious because who is that person? I've talked about this before when I'm in these readings, that I've had the Magical Map Shifter be an energy or a new gig or a new project or a new internal something that happens inside of myself. So this card talks about it being a person, and it probably is, but sometimes not. So we want to keep our eyes peeled. Deep Freeze, upside down, is the outcome card. This card is relevant for the next 4 to 5 days. Deep Freeze reversed. So this deck, one of my favorite things about certain oracle decks, right, is there's a reading for the upright position and there's a reading for the reversed position. Okay, so we'll read the reversed. Nothing you can do right now will amount to anything substantial, no matter how much you try, push, manipulate, or cajole. Life wants you to take a break. You need to do this now, lest you become exhausted and forced to rest. What you need will be there for you when you emerge in the springtime. For now, winter has its own ideas for you. Wait for signs of spring. That's pretty fucking clear. Sometimes, you ever come to, you want a reading and you get a reading from someone and it's all general and vague and it's like good things and nurturance and springtime. And you're like, great, what does that mean? This is very clear. Nothing, I like her very definitive language. This is the Deep Freeze card reversed. This is just for the next 4 to 5 days. Don't panic. Good news. You get to take a nap, watch some TV, call some people, hang out. For self-employed people, when a card like this comes up for the coming 4 days, I always say it's a time to get your taxes done, or just do background stuff where you're not necessarily pushing forward and expecting some visible return, but you're kind of handling the back end of things. Nothing you can do right now will amount to anything substantial, no matter how much you try, push, manipulate, or cajole. Life wants you to take a break. You need to do this now, lest you become exhausted and be forced to rest. This comes up a lot for me with clients who are new in my practice. Oftentimes people show up and they've just been knocked down by 800 different external circumstances that have them in a kind of crisis point. I want to tell you, I want to be really straight with you guys. Crisis points don't tend to happen if we've been listening to the still small voice up until that point. And that's not to blame you for not listening or judge you or shame you or make you feel bad about it. It's just we can learn from crisis points. The hope is we will learn from crisis points how to not create further crisis points. So how do we learn it? How do we avoid creating more of them? Listen now to the small sense of intuitive guidance you're getting, rather than waiting until it's all broken and it's all collapsed and you have nothing left, and then you have to muster up the energy to take the action you were already getting awareness you should take. So this would be a great sort of set of questions to ask yourself over the coming days when you're in your deep freeze. What are the small things I've not been listening to, not taking action on? And could I take action on them after 4 or 5 days when I come out of this deep freeze? All right, my friends, you have your assignment, should you choose to accept it. I'm thinking really positively and with a lot of love for all of you, like I said at the beginning of today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and just I hope these give you some kind of container for your reality, some kind of positive framing, some kind of clarity. It can be really helpful, I find, to pull cards in a moment where I don't know what's happening, because the cards will put some language on something, on my experience, to give me a framing that I couldn't mentally come up with on my own. So may that be your experience. When you're ready for your human design chart reading, KatieRubin.com. Star Beings, my mid-level to advanced energy healing class begins again, not this week, but next week, October 19th, Thursdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's a 2-hour class. We come to class each week, learn a little concept, apply it to our lives, check in about what we need healing on, and do a group healing. So I believe we're going to start this next round looking at a 4th step, using the 4th step from the 12 steps of recovery as a tool for self-examination and exploration to help us understand what's next on the journey of our healing and our integration, and using that tool that tells us what topics or energies or step points to bring into the energy healing that we'll do most weeks in class. So if you're interested in joining that class, do message me. Maybe message me privately, because we'll want to hop on a quick Zoom for 15 minutes to see if it's the right class for you and if now is the right time. Again, we start October 19th, Thursdays, 6 weeks, 3 to 5 p.m. online. And you're welcome. Hit me up. Let me know if you're